Stand by please, electric sound, wardrobe, wig, stage management, stage crew, flyers and all technical departments.
Welcome to Leave the Ghost Light On.
Yeah.
It's real early. Like I got up at, I mean, for me it's kind of early, but not too bad because I mean, she usually gets me up at about 8 anyway. And like I was rolling around, I was like, and then I went recording. And like immediately just like got a little bit of zazz.
Yeah. That's fair. Meanwhile, I did the time conversion wrong, so I was just like rolling around in bed and then finally was like, man, I can't sleep. And then that's when I looked at my phone and was like, oh, that's right.
So like for anybody who's looking at it instead of listening to it, like I apologize on both of our behalves.
Don't look at me.
Just listen. It's fine. Like
we're the thing for Mean Girls, don't look at me.
And like I somehow I put on my fucking eyebrows and my eyeliner for you people.
Good job. I didn't do anything. I mean, I put on some eye stuff, but
I was gonna say it looks like you have at least some like eyeshadow or something.
Yeah, so I don't like dead, but like look at my hair.
Oh, that's cute. I like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
giving electric shock therapy.
Yeah, and then with the light coming through because it's really bright, I had to put up a little thing, a little curtain in my window because the sun is literally rising up right now.
We're great. It's gonna be amazing.
I know.
Tell me about your cups today, because I know it's coffee o'clock.
It's just coffee. It's just my Halloween mug.
Yay! I got my Beetlejuice.
I needed a giant bucket of
Uh-huh.
coffee.
Yeah,
so.
I did espresso. I even did like I steamed the milk and everything today because I have that. Where is it? That big ass DeLonghi or whatever.
I see it back there. Yeah,
ass like multi coffee thing. But I also I made a smoothie today.
Ooh.
And it's in my cup. And what's really cool about these stickers is that they're color changing. So like here, let me see if I can do it on the bat here.
So like with it being like hot or cold. Oh, that's cute.
I love it.
Goes from purple to blue. I love it. Oh man. Yep. I thought about making myself a mimosa today, but then I was like, no.
I literally thought about putting Kahlua in my coffee. It's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, see, that was
Saturday. Who cares?
Right. See, for me, I am doing stuff today. So
well,
because like right after this, I have to go meet my parents for brunch. And they like to get up early. So
gross.
Yeah, right. So and then I've got an overhire thing to go do today. So
well, that's kind of fun.
Money's
cool, and at least your parents are in town, so that's neat.
Yeah, I will be sleepy for a day.
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah. Oh boy,
Coffee
well,
is my friend.
we have some interesting ones today.
We sure do.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yep.
So I think I'm going first for this one because it's.
You sure are.
It's not as tragic as it could be. It's certainly not as tragic as some of the ones we've covered, but it still talks about death. So, hooray! Oh, holy shit! I just realized my eyes are like super blue today. That's weird. That's very weird.
Mine are
not even. Oh, what happened with the? Don't worry about the eyeliner on that side. Just like not even being present. It's fine.
Everything's fine. It's fine.
It's so early, y'all. So okay, so yes, that's what's happening. I am talking about the death of Jean-Baptiste Poquelin, who is better known as Moliere.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because I get to say a bunch of French words today.
Nice. You know, really quick, that's something that I figured out as I've been starting to like decide what stories that I want to do is every single time I'm like, oh, no, I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to let you do this one. I'm done trying to do anything with funky words. So, anything in other languages, you got it.
I'm okay with that. All right. Well, let me give you some. There's so much really cool history about him, just in general. Very interesting person. So, Monsieur Moliere was the most well-known French playwright in history. He was also an actor and a poet. He was considered their greatest comic playwright, although I did find that he had a preference for like tragedy and writing tragedy, but he doesn't really have a lot of tragedies that he wrote. But he's also unique in that he directed his own plays and he wrote the greatest parts for himself to play as the actor, which is
it's Lin-Manuel Miranda.
it sure is. And although he was born to an aristocratic family, in his early 20s, he decided to become an actor and therefore abandon his social class.
Oh my.
It's like, you know what I don't love? Money.
Yeah, right.
Who cares? I would love instead to do a thing that I enjoy, and that is where I ended up.
Aren't we all?
We're so special.
Right.
So he soon partnered with a troupe, which unfortunately went bankrupt. And more unfortunately, of course, this was during a time when going bankrupt and being in debt was illegal, and
What?
could get you imprisoned. Oh,
Wait,
yes.
what?
Do you not remember when was the French Revolution?
I don't remember.
That's a piece of trivia.
I'm trying to play Les Mis in my head. I'm like, do they ever say the date in that? I don't know. What was like 1612?
Later than that.
Oh, 1812.
Not that late.
1716.
Later than.
Oh my gosh, I give up. Just tell me. 1749.
You're getting there. You're getting there. It's 1789 to 99.
1789. That's in Hamilton, but that's the wrong story.
Wrong story.
But
yeah, so
from
where
the Hamilton song.
Already getting off track. I love it. So yeah, the French Revolution was 1780s or late 1780s. So Moliere, though, lived from 1622 to 1673. So this is like a century before. People were like, wait, inequity? Why do those fuckers all have the money? It's almost reminiscent of kind of the things that are happening now.
Right?
Look out 1%. It's all
for you.
But anyway, so this was, of course, the time when being in debt or going bankrupt could land you in prison. And so he was imprisoned. And it is unclear who paid his debts. Some say it may have been his father. But actually, the reason that he changed his name is because he didn't want to bring shame on his family.
Oh.
Yeah. So Jean-Baptiste Poquelin was like, sorry about that, y'all. I will be Moliere instead.
Interesting. Okay. So we got a name change.
But he was released from prison roughly 24 hours later. So he wasn't in there that long because we think maybe dad paid his debts so that he could get out. But it may have been one of his acting troupe partners. We're not really sure. And later on, he was able to perform for the king with one piece by Corneille and one of his originals. And I remember in theater history class us talking about the fact that the Corneille at the time was super, super popular. But when Moliere performed his own piece, the king was like, oh shit, that's even better. And was like, he ended up being granted the use of Salle de Petit Bourbon, which is near the Louvre, which is a spacious room, which was appointed specifically for theatrical performances. And later he was granted use of the theater in the Palais Royal, which is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
The Royal Palace. Yeah. And in both locations, he found success among Parisians with plays such as all the ones that he wrote, things like The Affected Ladies, The School for Husbands, The School for Wives, They became really popular, like overnight sensation type stuff.
Mhm.
And this royal favor brought a royal pension to his troop. So his troop was royally sponsored, if you will,
Wow.
and was given the title Troupe de Roi, which is the king's troop.
Mhm. You're doing
So,
so good on this French.
oh my god, it's almost like I speak French.
Oh my god. Good. Sorry, I have
And
to like.
Moliere did continue as the official author of court entertainments.
Nice. Sorry, I'm like running away from the sun right now. See, because it's like slow.
Oh, the light! It blinds.
It burns.
I just immediately thought of Sword in the Stone and Madame Mim, and when he's poking the hole in the roof because she has the pox or something, and she's like, "You need a lot of sunshine." She goes, "I hate sunshine. I hate horrible, wholesome sunshine."
I hate horrible, wholesome sunshine. That's a quote right there.
I didn't even mention the gardenia I'm wearing in my hair that I found on my walk this morning with Kiri.
I know, it's so pretty.
I love gardenias. They're my favorite, like, flower.
They're very floral smelling, right?
That's exactly, yeah. My story was that this is my version of aromatherapy.
Yeah,
Is
that makes sense.
gardenias, because I grew up with an actual gardenia bush right outside my window growing up. So that is a very, like, scent memory thing for me of being like, oh, happy childhood. And then we forget the rest of it. And then but the gardenia smell is still, like, one of my all-time favorite smells. And for years I've tried to have gardenia plants and they, like, almost never bloom.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really disappointing. Like, there's literally one in my house that is up for sale, and we planted it and it was doing really well and it looks like it's nice and bushy and it's getting great. Has not bloomed once. It's been there for like 2 years.
I feel like trying to actually get a plant to bloom is really hard.
Unless you're the wonderful Matthew Jackson, and because somehow he is, I mean, that's why he has the Plant Daddy podcast.
Because like all of my
I love you.
all of my plants are like just like green plants essentially. Like I'll buy them when they have the flower on them and then the flower immediately goes away.
It's
Like I've had an orchid, and I know that they're known for this, but I've had an orchid for 4 years now. And of course when you buy the orchid, it always has the flower on it. And then the orchid flower part fell off about 3 months later, and now it's just a green plant with a dead stick coming out of it.
Story of my life.
Amazing.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, bye.
I do feel pretty good about the succulents I have.
Yeah, my succulents are like,
and what's great is they're the only ones that survived me being gone for 6 weeks without watering.
oh, yeah, that makes sense. I guess that's something that I've done a good job of is like buying desert plants. So I need to send you a picture of my aloe. My mom came over last night and I was like, look at all my plants. Because of course, like sometimes, like, I don't know, parents are like, you're still a child. And I was like, I'm not child. Look at all my plants. I'm an adult. I can take care of things. But no, my aloe started out like this big. And like now it's literally like,
holy mazzoli.
so actually, because we're barring right now anyway, I'm going to show it to you because it's right behind me.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. Holy god.
Look at that thing.
Holy crap.
Look at that.
Y'all, okay, what I'm seeing, this thing is like a solid 3 feet.
Like
that is a solid 3 foot tall aloe. That's nuts. That's impressive. Look at all those other plants. Those plants are doing great.
I know, everybody else is doing so good.
Look at that cute little terrarium up there. The little like diamond thing. I love that.
Yeah, that was all
That's so cute.
And then this one up in the corner, that's Pedro Pascal, because he's my favorite. They all have names. Actually, the aloe. Oh, Juniper's taking my seat.
Oh, ma'am.
Oh my gosh. Maybe we should record in the mornings more often.
You're lucky you're cute, lady.
I know, right? But no, my aloe is named Barney because it has lots of babies. And so Barney, like from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, I was like, what does the big purple dinosaur have to do with aloe and babies? I was like, because he is the host of a children's show? Like,
No. It's Barney because it has lots of babies. So
I love that.
mm-hmm.
I have no idea where we were in my story.
I'm sorry. You know what? We only talked for like 2 seconds at the beginning, so
now we're finally getting to be awake and being able to like people with each other.
That is true. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I have on a onesie, so
I saw that. It's like tied at the waist.
So everybody can enjoy that if you're watching the video.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah.
I'm not doing much better. It's fine.
All right, where were you?
Oh yes, the King's Troop.
Yes, the King's
Troop. Yes, the King's Troop. Thank you very much. So one of his most famous plays that is still widely performed today is Tartuffe. I think a lot of people have probably at least heard of or maybe even seen Tartuffe. It's one of my favorite plays just in general. And it is partially because there's some really clear physical comedy in it. The writing is really, really fun. So here's another fun little side note that I didn't write this down, and I should have because it's part of my lexicon when talking about Moliere, is that because he was part of Palais Royal, that he had to write in Alexandrine verse. Alexandrine is the thing, it's rhyming couplets, but it's a decameter or something. I don't remember the word for it now, but it's Alexandrine is where it's 12 beats a line. So and it's still rhyming couplets, but as far as I'm aware, please correct me people if you know differently, but the only English language Alexandrine verse is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
'Twas the night before Christmas and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Nice.
That is the only one that I know of that is Alexandrine but was written in English. A lot of Moliere stuff has been translated to English, and they kept the rhyming couplets in some of the translations, which is really hard to do. You're trying to make the translation as accurate as possible while then also making it rhyme, which is very, very challenging. I believe there's a Ben Brantley version of it that did that, which is really exceptional. But anyway, yes. So Tartuffe, one of the other reasons that it's one of my favorites is because it is a very clear attack on religious hypocrisy. And which is also why it's sometimes referred to as the hypocrite, hypocrite. And sometimes that's like the title of it. And I did see in a couple of places that the word Tartuffe is now sometimes interchangeable with the word hypocrite.
Okay.
So you can call someone a Tartuffe.
I'll do that from now on.
Yeah, I love it. Don't be such a fucking Tartuffe.
You're a Tartuffe.
But at the time, however, when it was first performed in 1664, it was naturally denounced by the Catholic Church and even later banned by French Parliament.
Oh, nice.
Because you couldn't possibly talk badly about church.
No, of
There's
course
no
not.
such thing as hypocrisy in religion. That doesn't exist at all. How dare you bring that to light?
I know. Freaking religion.
But what's hilarious to me is that Moliere was always really careful not to attack the institution of monarchy because
that's who was funding him.
Exactly. So he did earn, of course, a position as one of the king's favorites and enjoyed protection from the attacks of the court. The king allegedly suggested that Moliere suspend performances of Tartuffe, and so then he very quickly wrote Dame Juan ou le Festin de Pierre to replace it. So it is kind of a strange work, and it's derived from Don Juan, which was written by Tirso de Molina, who, funny enough, was a Catholic monk.
Yeah, because Don,
I think that's just so the incredible irony here
because Don Juan is the guy
he's
who
the original ladies' man.
Yeah, he's the guy who sleeps around. Is
Yes,
a manhole.
indeed, written by a Catholic monk, which sometimes is known as a libertine, if you will. Which, by the way, another side note, really, really good movie about a British libertine with Johnny Depp.
What movie? What's it
The
called?
Libertine.
Oh, The Libertine. Oh,
Yeah.
did that just come out not too long
Oh
ago?
no, that's very old. Well, not
Oh.
very, but it's like, I want to say late 90s even.
Oh, okay. Because there's
Really
a movie that just came out. By just, I mean like maybe in the last like 2 years or something. Yeah, I don't think it came to like movie theaters in the US, or if it did, it was like limited. But Johnny Depp like speaks French the entire time. It's a French movie. Yeah. And he's like, I just remember he's in like the powdered wig and stuff like that. So that's why I was like, is that? But I'll have to look that up. But that was a more recent one.
Oh,
But yeah, that's one of those things where Johnny Depp was like, yeah, I can speak French. I'm not just a pirate.
I gotta say, whatever else you want to say about him, he's still an incredible actor.
No, he really is. He's one of those where like people are like, oh, he can only do one thing. And it's like, you haven't
Have you seen movies?
Yeah, like he is. Yeah.
The more Ed Wood, like just compare Ed Wood, Donnie Brasco, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Like what the what?
Yep.
How are those all the same person? Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite of his is Finding Neverland. Have you seen that one?
Oh, I always forget about that one. Yeah.
That was the one where I was like, this is a good actor. Like,
yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
But yeah, then you see The Libertine. I'm just like, what in the fuck? What can this guy not do? He is for me, and I know this is going to get me a lot of shit for this, but he is on par with Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying that.
No, but it's true though. They're both, they both have. Yeah. I mean, Gary Oldman, and what was the crazy movie with his hair? Was that Tron?
Oh no, The Fifth Element, when he's Zorg.
Element, that's right.
Yeah, he plays Zorg. Oh my god, there's incredible images of him like carrying around Picasso, which is that little elephant. Oh my god, I still kind of want the fifth elephant is what I call him. Because he is so motherfucking cute. And it's a Jim Henson puppet too.
Oh, I do like Jim Henson. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna
fucking elephant so bad.
Okay, because we're just already going off on tangents really quick. Have you seen Pesto?
Oh my god, the fattest fucking penguin chick in the world.
I'm in love with him.
I want to hug him so much. And then of course there's Mudang.
Oh yes, Mudang. Yes. The little baby hippo.
I forgot what that translates to.
I don't remember, but yeah, Mudang is the one that's like just like on his
disrespect your surroundings.
But no, I've been big on Pesto because like he is I showed Garrett him last night and I was like, this penguin is a unit, and Garrett was like, no, he's not. He's 2 units.
He's legitimately the size of like 2 adult penguins. I don't understand how it happened.
They said that he weighs more than both of his parents combined.
What did they feed this thing?
I don't know, but he's so big. Like I just like watching the videos of like all the penguins walking around, and then he's just like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, they announced I think yesterday or 2 days ago that he's a boy, and they were like, it's no surprise, he's a boy.
Fat ass.
Oh man.
Oh my god, that was a great side story.
I know.
Well, where was I this time?
I don't know, but these tangents are great.
I know, we're doing great. Tirso de Molina. So Don Juan, the original, is rendered in a prose that actually still kind of seems modern today if you read the translation of like the true translation of the Tirso de Molino one. And it describes the story of an atheist who becomes a religious hypocrite, and for this is punished by God. This work, too, was quickly suspended.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then the king, demonstrating his protection once again, became the new official sponsor of Moliere's troupe. So before this, he was just like, hey, you guys are great. Keep doing your thing. You guys represent me. And then after this, like one fucking religious hypocritical show after another, he's like, you know what? You're on my tab.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then so because like his last two shows were just like yoink, because you can't talk about those things because that looks bad. Then in I almost said 1666 he wrote Le Misanthrope, so the Misanthrope, which it's still pretty popular.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It is actually now widely regarded as Moliere's most refined masterpiece. And probably because it is the one with the highest moral content, quote unquote. But it was actually not super appreciated at the time because it wasn't considered like as funny as the other ones, because it's not.
It's not.
And therefore it was a commercial flop, which forced Moliere to immediately write Le Médecin malgré lui, which is the doctor despite himself, or the good doctor in spite of himself. It's sometimes translated both ways. Which was, now this time, it's a satire against the official sciences. In several of his plays, Moliere depicts the physicians of his day as pompous individuals who speak really bad Latin in order to impress others with false information, which is actually a trope that he completely steals from Commedia, because that's what Dottore is. In Commedia dell'arte, Dottore is this big fat sack of shit doctor who is always like, he's always got big wide stomach and he's always got one finger in the air because he's pontificating, because he's making shit up, because he doesn't actually know what he's talking about. But stolen trope, which, I mean, unsurprisingly, comedy always steals from other things. There's nothing original. But this was so the doctor, despite himself, actually became a little bit more of a success than the Misanthrope. But Moliere was actually fairly ill at this time, and as the decade of the 1660s wore on, he grew increasingly ill, and therefore he did write less. And then when his wife died in 1672, there's a whole other shebang and like a side quest of his stuff with his wife and all the, highly recommend people looking into that because it's really interesting. But his mourning for her apparently caused his illness to grow. But he was still able to crank out The Miser, which is one of his now most well-loved and well-known works. Which it should be noted is yet again based off another play, which is a play called Aulularia, which is by the Roman playwright Plautus. There was, I mean, a lot of that shit was happening. Look at Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Look at everybody during Renaissance, everybody was going, that's a good idea. Yoink. Let me look back at this. That's where we get all this neoclassical shit, is because we're looking at the classics going, yoink.
I like that. That sounds good. Mine.
Yeah, exactly. My next bullet point says, let's get to the tragedy already.
No, but this history has been good. So, because I know a little bit about the tragedy, but I didn't know anything about him. He's got a good, rich history.
Very, very. So it is. Well, I guess now it is known that Moliere suffered from pulmonary tuberculosis. And it says that it was possibly contracted when he was imprisoned for debt as a young man, which again, he was only in prison for approximately 24 hours. So here's your trivia, Jill. Approximately how long does it take to contract TB? Like, how long do you have to be like direct prolonged exposure with someone who has it in order to get it?
2 seconds.
That's a little longer than that, actually.
Okay. I was like, one cough. I don't know.
That would be fucking horrifying.
Is it exactly 24 hours?
No, it's about 8 hours is
Okay.
the round-ish number of, like, prolonged hyperexposure.
Oh,
So, if you're
okay.
sitting in a fucking dirty-ass prison cell with
Yep.
somebody who's hacking up a lung and coughing blood in your face, pretty good chance of getting it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so there you go. It is not out of the realm of possibility that he would have contracted it that way.
Yeah.
And again, tuberculosis does not automatically rear its head. Like it can take months or even sometimes years to show symptoms or anything like that.
Mhm.
So then the last play Moliere wrote was entitled The Imaginary Invalid or The Hypochondriac, as it's sometimes called. Though not as well known, is actually still fairly popular.
Hmm.
And it was fairly popular at the time as well. So this piece premiered on February 10th, or 10 February, if you will, of 1673 at the Théâtre du Palais Royal in Paris.
Oh my
And
god.
this part, I did not know about this. It was choreographed by Pierre Beauchamp,
Mhm.
and so a lot of what Moliere did was basically musical comedy.
Mm.
So there would be musical interludes, there would be dance interludes, and it was really cool
Oh.
stuff. So, but Pierre Beauchamp is the person who is credited with the codification of the 5 feet positions in ballet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So
Nice. Like the
he was
first
tight
position,
with Beauchamp.
second.
Mhm.
Nice.
Do you know what those are?
No, I mean, because I took ballet when I was, like, a little kid,
Oh
so I
yeah, yeah.
haven't done anything. I know that it's, like, different stances and
Mhm.
everything. Like, I'm sure
Yeah.
if I was in a ballet class, I could pick it back up, but,
Yeah.
I mean, one is E, E, E. There you
Yeah.
go. For
That's the
anybody
best I can do
listening,
with
we were just
my
doing the
hands.
hand movements. Yeah, we were pretending our
There you
hands
go.
were our feet.
Great, we're doing great.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, I just thought that was an interesting piece of trivia that
Oh, it is.
Beauchamp is the guy that choreographed
Wow.
the Imaginary Invalid for him.
Hmm.
Um, and then 1 week later, on February 17th, and actually, because I'm this much of an OCD fucking nerd, I
Nice.
found at one point it said that this was the 4th performance of the
Mhm.
show, and I was like, "Well, it premiered on February 10th, and then we're talking February 17th." I looked at a calendar of 1673.
Nice.
So, it would have been open Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Mhm.
then restart again Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Friday. Hi, Gunter.
I couldn't hear.
Hi. Hi, Gunter.
I couldn't
Oh,
hear.
hi, bud. Just
Just wanna say
cross-eyed,
hi.
just looking up at me.
I
Aw.
know that was perfect, just his like, "Huh?"
Anyway,
Mhm.
yeah, so it would have been the 2nd Friday of I'm sorry, bonk. It would have been the 2nd Friday of performances, so would have
Mm,
been the 4th show.
okay.
Molière was performing again, and because he was performing as Argan, which is the lead role, which of course he wrote for himself,
Of course.
he had a coughing fit on stage and started hemorrhaging blood. Think Satine of
Yeah,
Moulin Rouge. Yeah,
of
it's
Moulin
very
Rouge.
much that. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So naturally, he insisted that he be allowed to complete the show because, like most of us,
The show must go on.
literally what I wrote down. Yes.
Yep. I mean, they say that in Moulin Rouge, like, she's literally like
It's fine.
and
Don't worry about it.
yeah, and she
He's
goes,
like,
"The show
"Girl,
must
your
go on."
lungs are outside of you right now." Like, "This is fine.
Yeah.
I'll just tuck it back. It's fine. Your blood should be on the inside of you." Oh my god.
Awful.
Okay, so, he was actually having to insert lines to excuse his coughing, and he actually played the part while sitting in a red velvet chair, which is still preserved as the most precious relic at the Comédie Française
Oh,
theater.
wow.
Yeah, so they still have the red velvet chair that he was sitting in when he had
Huh.
this coughing fit
Where do you know where the chair is now?
at the Comédie Française theater.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, still there.
nice.
And then so afterwards, yes, he did complete the show, and then afterwards, he collapsed again with another larger hemorrhage before being taken home, where he died a few hours later without receiving last rites because 2 priests refused to visit him.
Oh,
Wonder why?
I know, right? Because I guess.
There are 2 possible reasons. But a third who actually had agreed arrived too late.
Oh.
So he did not receive his last rites. And under French law at the time, actors were not allowed to be buried in the sacred ground of a cemetery.
Oh, that's right, because they were deemed risque work, whatever it would be. Yeah.
Such horseshit. Anyway.
Yeah.
But Moliere's, so he had obviously, I guess, very quickly remarried. Oh no, this would have been his first wife.
Oh.
Armand asked the king if he could be granted a normal funeral at night. So the king actually agreed, and Moliere's body was buried, but it was buried in the part of the cemetery that was reserved for unbaptized infants.
Oh,
so although he was baptized, but he was baptized as a child as Jean-Baptiste Poquelin, but he was still buried.
So he's in a cemetery with a bunch of babies.
He was, yeah. And in 1792, his remains were brought to the Museum of French Monuments, and in 1817, they were transferred to Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris.
Oh, okay, for a second, I was like, "Why are his remains in a museum?"
Which I just realized that means father of the chair.
Oh, well, he did have a chair, so
Père Lachaise. Whatever.
Lachaise. No, that word.
But one final note I wanted to mention is that we get one of our theater superstitions from his death.
Okay, I know that this was a part of it, so.
It is now said that it is bad luck for actors to wear green on stage because that is supposedly the color that Moliere was wearing at the time of his death.
Yes, you covered this in episode 10. Yeah. Gosh darn green costumes.
So that's Moliere or Jean-Baptiste Poquelin.
Oh my gosh, that was really good. That was really informative. Like, it's a tragedy, but I mean, that wasn't horrible. So I don't feel like I need to go cry about
TV
it.
is not delightful.
No, it's not delightful.
Oh, hi, sweet pea.
That was good though. That was very, very good. That was very interesting. Man, I don't think I'll ever get sick of hearing you speak French. So.
Oh, merci bien.
Oui. Well, okay, so I'm going to send you a couple of photos of this place really quick because I need you to know what they look like before I get started. So I'm doing the Amargosa Opera House and Hotel.
Ooh.
So this place is freaking weird. It is essentially in a ghost town in the middle of Death Valley Junction outside of California.
Ooh, this is cool.
Yeah, so a little bit about it. Like I said, essentially when you are driving to Death Valley from Vegas, you will like drive right up to it. Like, it's essentially like a straight road to Death Valley, and you make one turn and it's right in front of this hotel.
Neat.
So basically Amargosa was a super duper little small town that came about during the borax mining boom in the area in the 1900s. Because in the desert, we had lots and lots and lots of different mining towns. So it's kind of cool. Out where I am, there's so many different like abandoned ghost towns that you can go visit. So this one's, So this one's not quite a ghost town because I think technically like 10 people still live there. And this hotel, as creepy as it looks, you can still stay in it. So
really?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Oh shit.
So basically Amargosa was established, like I said, in the early 1900s. I couldn't find like an exact date, but early 1900s. And what really put it on the map is the Tidewater Railroad came straight through it, which of course, whenever there's a railroad, there's going to be people and their little civilizations. So at the time, about 350 people actually lived in the town. And the hotel itself was actually quite luxurious and everything. It was quite fancy. And it hosted company executives and investors after long and hot train rides through the desert.
Yeah.
The hotel also had a cafe, a restaurant, a general store, an infirmary, and bunkhouses for the workers at the borax mine.
Wow. Okay.
And then it also had the opera house, which is what I'm going to be talking about mostly, which was for showing movies.
Okay.
So really quick, because I sent you the pictures, the design of it is just, I mean, it looks like a desert building.
It's Adobe style, like yeah.
Yeah, it's Adobe style, very bright white.
I would say, yeah, it's like
Mm-hmm.
Adobe style meets Spanish monastery style.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. And it's kind of just like the hotel itself is just one story, and it's very like long and thin and everything. And then the opera house. And then the opera house is like, I know, the opera house is just like right on the end of it. Oh my gosh.
I am 12 years old.
No, it's fine. I ranted in yours. Now you can rant in mine. That was time for your side tangents.
Penis.
So around 1942 was when the town started to kind of go downhill and the mining operations kind of started to end a little bit. And then the biggest thing that made the town kind of shut down was the railroad basically stopped being profitable, and so it stopped running. Fun fact, this is the middle of the desert. This is Death Valley. These train tracks were torn up and sent as a complete set to Egypt.
That's a long fucking way away.
Yeah, to complete to aid the military efforts in North Africa. And I was like, that's so weird. And then when I mentioned this to someone else, they were like, yeah, railroad stuff is expensive. And I was like,
because it's all steel.
But Egypt?
I mean, I guess they gotta get it somewhere.
I know, but yeah. So that's where it is. I mean, that's where it is now. Is it's still in Egypt?
Damn.
So, yeah. Wow. So yeah. So basically, once the railroads left, the town basically dried up, and which, like I was saying before, we kind of see a lot of out here in the desert. And the town basically exchanged hands multiple times and was rebought multiple times. And around the 1960s is when we get closer and closer to it being called a ghost town. So now it's time to talk about our leading lady, which is Marta Beckett.
Ooh.
So in 1967, Marta rented the recreational hall, which was aka the Opera House, and began to repair the theater and create sets and paint murals on the walls. And then in 1970s, a journalist from National Geographic discovered that she performed at the Amargosa without an audience, and this piqued a lot of interest.
I'd say.
Yeah. Basically just
what? I don't know if you'd call it a performance then. You're just rehearsing.
Just like doing stuff on your own, like
having a good time for you, which is fine. You can do that, but I don't think you can call it a performance.
No, she was
that's one of the main facets of performance is an audience.
She was a funky lady.
Talk about it in Intro to Theater.
Yeah, she was a weird lady.
No way.
So this brings us to a little backstory about Marta. So basically, Marta began performing ballet at a very, very young age. So she grew up in New York City and actually performed at Radio City Music Hall. So she was pretty well known and somewhat famous. Juniper, please stop. She eventually took her show on the road and started performing at schools and small theaters. Again, she started to take her show on the road and started performing at schools and small theaters. When she was on the way to a performance with her husband, they got a flat tire in Death Valley Junction near the Amargosa Opera House. And they broke down, were getting their car repaired, and she started to kind of wander around a little bit. And while she was wandering, she found herself in the theater and decided that she liked it so much that she just wanted to stay in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, it's not where I thought that was going, but okay.
I know, right? Excuse me. So eventually she started renting the theater space. And basically they were like, you can do whatever you want to it because it was
Cool.
completely abandoned and disheveled and everything.
That's
And
kind of a
so
dream.
yeah, and so the most notable thing that Marta did at the Amargosa is she made these murals, like I mentioned before, and
Mhm.
they are almost off-putting in the sense that like you are not expecting it at all to like it's almost shocking because again, this theater is in the middle of nowhere, white stucco, looks abandoned. Like the picture
Mhm.
I sent you is new, but like when she got there
Yeah.
it was abandoned. So, I'm gonna send you a
Oh my
picture of
god.
the inside of this
I
theater.
was hoping so. Okay. Oh my god, I'm ready.
So, keep in mind, she did everything herself.
Okay.
All of these murals she painted all by herself.
Whoa. Whoa.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Holy shit. That
Yeah.
is You know what? This actually reminds me, it's very surprisingly similar to in the interior of one of the castle theaters I went to in Prague.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah. So basically, every
Wow.
inch of the inside of this theater is painted, and it was all painted by Marta herself.
See, when you said mural and off-putting,
Mhm.
my
It
brain went to like abstraction and like fucking
No.
sci-fi weird bonkers shit. This is incredible.
That's what I mean. It's like off-putting, but because it's so shocking,
It's
because you would
and it's
not expect
hyper
this.
realistic and like,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah, so to describe
that's
it for
cool.
everybody, obviously, I'm gonna put pictures up of this because this is
Oh
absolutely
my
nuts.
god.
But she basically painted the inside of the theater walls to look like a full audience
It's
in like
nuts.
orchestra and balcony seating.
And there's
Um,
even the entire ceiling is geez, it's got
yes.
God.
Yeah. So, like I said, she's got about 2 tiers of seating. Everything is very, like, ornate looking. The seating
Mhm,
is, like, gold and, like,
mhm.
big, like, pillars and everything. A lot of the audience members are essentially fancy people, dressed in wigs all throughout the ages. She
Yeah,
has,
it's like I'm seeing, like,
Mhm.
ruffs for, like, Renaissance folks, Jesus.
Yeah,
Like
she's got some Native
a
American,
17th
she's got,
century.
knights in shining armor. On the ceiling is painted like the sky with dancing cherubs
It's
everywhere.
incredible.
Yeah, and then actually, I think this is super cool. I don't think I have a picture. You can kinda see it, but at the very back, she even painted, a box seat with a king and a
Mhm.
queen in it. Um,
It's so cool. It's so
yeah,
cool.
but I should have looked it up, but I think she probably painted a little bit over 100 people in the audience, essentially.
Jesus.
Yeah, all of any, like, red, fabric that you see, that's all painted. So
Fuck.
yeah, everything is painted, and
God.
fun fact, she even painted some cats that are hidden
Oh.
'cause she really likes cats, so they're, like, kind of hidden all throughout it.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, it's just
Fuck.
this yeah, it's absolutely nuts. So she started this, in what did I say? Yeah, she started this in about 1967
Mm.
and finished all of these murals in around 1974. So she
Ooh.
basically was just continuously painting, continuously adding,
Oh, wow.
in the middle of also performing, which is what the performing by herself. Basically, she was just putting on plays for herself, kind of a thing, and, like, just
Sure.
dancing on stage. Um, but once the National Geographic kind of got a hold of it, she got real popular real fast. I mean, one of those pictures I sent you is in a
Yeah.
completely full audience, again, in the
Yeah. Oh,
middle of
yeah.
the desert.
With actual people.
Yeah. Also, yeah, just to
In
give
addition
everybody
to the painted people.
yeah, as opposed to, yeah, painted people. Yeah, so she was
Wow.
performing for an audience, just some of them were painted. But
I mean, I guess it makes it feel like a full house.
Right.
Try that.
Also, really quick, just to give people perspective, so there was 120 seats in the audience, and like I said, the picture I sent you is a full audience. She often had full audiences.
Cool.
This town is like over an hour and a half away from anything.
Oh,
So like it wasn't something where you're just like, "Oh, we're visiting." Like, no, it
you
is
gotta go.
yeah, it is middle of
Oh,
nowhere. So,
wow.
um,
And I would hope that people are going because then they can also stay at the hotel. That would
yes.
just make sense.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yes, we should. Actually, yeah. No,
Okay.
we should.
Mhm.
So basically Marta performed for 4 decades in this theater.
Damn, girl!
Mhm. Yeah, that was, like, her staple point. Actually, this place was featured on Ghost Adventures because Ghost Adventures loves doing stuff near Nevada in Las
Of
Vegas
course
because
they
that's
do.
where they're
Yep.
based. And I thought that this was very cute, but the episode that I watched, they actually interviewed Marta because she was still alive.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, so
Oh,
Marta
that's great.
died in, I think, 2021, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
Um, I mean, she was old at that point, so she'd been
I
around
would
for a
guess,
while.
damn, yeah.
But yeah, like, watching her interviews, like, she was definitely a zany character.
She
So,
must have been so cool.
yeah.
She must have
So
been so much fun.
yeah. So as of right now, because she's not there anymore, and the person who was kind of taking over for her in her older age, performed. I think they stopped performing in 2017.
Okay.
They'll have random performances there, kind of a thing, but it's more kind of, I don't know, like expositions kind of a thing, or like a tribute on like Marta's birthday or something.
Oh, okay.
So, but
Cute.
now you can show up. It's so freaking creepy. The reason I wanted to do this was because my former coworker slash amazing person, Gary, absolutely loves this place and always tells me about it. He loves creepy, scary stuff.
Yay! Shout
But
out Gary.
Gary, but no, he said that like literally you just drive up and like it's like abandoned, like the parking lot is empty, like you assume that it is a ghost town and you just kind of like walk up to the opera house and just like look around and all of a sudden like somebody will just appear and be like, "Hi, do you want a tour?" And you're like, "Yeah." And they're
Are
like,
you alive?
yeah, and they're like, "Okay, it's just $5." And you give
Okay.
them $5 and they open the theater and you walk in and you stare at it and they tell you about it and give you all the history and then you leave.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, but I just like feel like you just show up and you're like, "Huh?" It's funny actually, while I was doing research for it, all the videos that I was watching of, like, people going and seeing it, most of them were like, "We came across this abandoned town," and they are just, like, walking around, and then all of a sudden, like, somebody will open a door and be like, "Hi there."
Oh. I mean, hello.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I can't
What?
remember the YouTuber's name, but there was a video of them just, like, walking around being like, "We are the only people here, this is insane," and then they just, like, turn, and there's just a guy standing in front of, like, a glass door of the hotel just, like
No. No. No, no, no. Come on.
and they're like, "Ah!" And he opens the door and literally does the, like, "Hi there." And they're like, "Hello?" And he's like, "Are you here to stay at the hotel?"
I'm not sure anymore.
Oh, man. But
Oh.
yeah, so, long story short, it is still a working hotel. The opera house, you can still go and tour. Sometimes they have performances, all that kinda stuff.
Mm.
Um, so,
Yep.
naturally, this place is gonna have some creepy stuff in it,
So cool.
besides the people working there. So, it's time for, like, some spooky ooky time. So spooky ooky time. So really, really quick, I wanna start out by my absolute favorite one. So Marta had a ghost that she often talked about who
Oh.
would apparently come and, like, basically interrupt all of her performances, and it was a little ghost cat There's a little ghost cat in the opera house, which is why she painted cats everywhere.
That's fucking cute.
Yeah, so apparently that little cat used to come and interrupt her performances, used to come up on stage and rub around her legs, would occasionally, like, bat some stuff around and all that kind of stuff,
Oh.
so
Okay, that's so fucking cute.
if I could see one cat like, one ghost in my life, I want it to be a ghost cat.
Mhm, mhm.
It'd be so cute.
I would take ghost dog. That'd be fine. I would
Yeah,
probably
ghost dog
cry.
is fine too. Exactly. So one of the most notable ghosts in the actual, opera house is thought to be Tom Willett, which is Marta's former partner.
Mm.
So Marta went through, I don't know if this was somebody that she married, but basically the guy that she rolled into Amargosa with,
Oh, yeah.
they eventually, I don't know if they fully divorced, but they split up
Mhm.
and she started dating somebody else basically until he passed away. So
Okay.
the thought is that it's Tom Willett and he will be seen sitting in the audience in one of the chairs, just like watching her perform.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, or now just sitting in sitting in one of the chairs. So
He's still waiting for her to
I
perform.
know, I thought that was very
Oh.
cute. Naturally, this always seems to happen, but, a figure, which we don't quite know who this is, has been seen, dancing across the stage.
Ooh.
There's often somebody who has been seen, yeah, performing on the stage and all that kind of stuff, either right when you enter the opera house before, like, right as the lights turn on, you can kinda see them,
Oh.
and staff members have been said to see them as well.
We don't
Um
think that's her?
Huh?
We don't think that's her, or was this before she passed?
So, that was before she passed, but now
Oh.
people think that it might be Marta. So,
How did okay.
like, maybe there's, like, multiple ghosts. So
Yeah.
'cause I can't find any descriptions on, like, how the person looks or how
Yeah.
the ghost looks or anything, so it could
Huh.
be there was a ghost and then now that might be her. So
That's that I can't even imagine. Like, what would that was it her pre-ghost? Like, what?
oh,
What does
yeah.
that mean?
Ooh, a break in time. Oh! Oh, I love
Whoa.
those things.
Time travel ghost.
Time travel ghost.
Parallel universe ghosts? Hell yeah.
I love
That's a
it.
whole other topic that I should talk to Henry Zabrowski about.
I know, right? At some point, I keep saying this, but we need to get into, like, all the different types of ghosts and all that kinda stuff and, like, the parallel universe ghosty stuff.
That
Oh,
would be the kind of shit that, like, I need to talk to Zabrowski, I need to talk to Steve Gonsalves, like, this is the kind of shit that I know nothing about, that I need to
yeah,
talk to, like, people that consider themselves actual professionals in that.
exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so that's the majority of the stuff at the opera house, yeah, is gonna be oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze one second.
Look into the light. It'll make you sneeze.
No, it's gone.
Oh. Look into the light.
Anyway, so that's majority of, the ghosts in the opera house. Then we get to the hotel, which is extra, extra, extra creepy.
Ooh, ooh.
So they are like I said, they're connected. You can go from one building to the other,
Oh,
and everything. So most of the hotel has been renovated. However, it is still old as shit looking on the inside. It is not by any means fancy anymore. But there is an area of the hotel that has not been renovated and has just like been left to like fall into complete disrepair. And
hmm.
it is literally known as Spooky Hollow. So when yeah, when it's Spooky Hollow. Uh Actually, when Gary was there, when he did his first, tour of the place, they walked past it, and Gary was like, "What's that?" And the tour guide was like, "No, I'm not talking about
Oh,
that. That is absolutely terrifying, and you could not pay me all the money in the world to go down that hallway."
what?
Yeah.
Oh, now I need to go.
Yeah, so that was what,
Try
Zach
me.
Baggins did the majority of his ghost stuff was in
Mm,
there. It makes sense that this area is terrifying, 1,
hmm.
because it's old and decrepit looking, and then also Spooky Hollow is where they used to house the workers, and it
Oh,
was also where the hospital and the morgue were.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it is creepy AF looking.
Blech.
So because the majority of the people aren't allowed to go down there anymore, there's lots of weird stuff that happens down there. There aren't a lot of actual like things that I can talk about, like actual
Huh.
ghosts, but people are just like, it's bad. So
Fair
like even in
enough.
Ghost Adventures, they were just like,
No.
nope, and like left. So it's one of those like there's just
fun.
bad vibes. So
Valid, you know.
yeah. So there are some specific rooms, however, that have spooky ooky ghosties. So room 24 specifically, patrons, hotel guests have heard a crying little girl
Ew.
and have felt her like touching them in the middle of the night. And it
No.
is thought to be a little girl who drowned in the bathtub in
Oh.
1967
Oh.
in that room.
Oh.
Yeah, people have died in this place.
Ooh.
The other room is room 32, where the mining boss used to live, and it is well known that a hanging took place in this room.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And so the feelings in room 32 are very malevolent and bad. So,
Yucky.
yeah, it's a very angry, bad spirit is in there, whether it is the mining boss who hanged somebody or the person who got hung.
Oh, got hunged.
Got hung.
Get hunged, idiot. Oh, that's
So
fucked.
yeah. So room 9 is the most haunted, and if we go, we should
Oh.
stay in here because why
Okay.
not?
Yeah.
So yeah, so room 9 is the absolute most haunted. A number of people have reported feeling their feet being held down while they sleep.
Ew. Ugh.
They have felt people like the like playing with the blankets in the middle of the night. And people have also heard the doorknob jiggling and people trying to enter the room. So
That I hate a whole
yeah.
lot.
Oh, I hate the holding feet down one.
That's all of that is just bad news bears, but
Yeah. And again, the feelings in this room are very malevolent and bad. So
icky.
basically, this is one of those places where like Opera House is like happy, but like the rest of this place is angry. Yeah, it's one of the few places we've done where it's like angry ghosts.
Oh my.
A lot of hotel guests have said that they can just hear the sound of children running through the hallways in the middle of the night.
Nope.
And pounding on walls and just lots of weird noises.
Damn.
So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, this was a mining place, so lots of people came through, lots of people died, like
Yeah.
shit happened.
Whew.
On the website, it said that like over 50% of the people who stay in the hotel leave in the middle of the night because they can't take it.
What?
Mhm.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We can handle it.
Yep. So, yeah, that is the Amargosa Hotel, Martha,
Jesus.
and the Opera House.
Wow, damn. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
I know. Yeah, like I said, I think this is the first one with like angry spirits.
Yeah.
So,
But
mhm.
God, just the stuff about Martha is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, she was a wacky lady. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, those murals. So again, I'm gonna definitely post pictures of it because it's like
Very cool.
that's why I was like, I have to send you this stuff before I talk
Mhm.
about it because like just talking about it's not gonna like
I would not have expected that.
no. And again, like when we go, because we're gonna go now, we should do like a little like creepy road trip throughout the desert because I've got a couple of them
Oh my
that are in this
God.
area. But like even just like the drive through the middle of the desert, you're gonna be like, how is this gonna pop up in the
Ugh.
middle of nowhere? So
Ugh. Ugh.
you know what? I have a question.
Huh.
How did she get all of that paint in the middle of nowhere?
Oh. The
Yeah.
amount of like shipping and driving that she must have done to
Yeah.
get all of it.
To get all of it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good point.
Mhm. I know. I wanna know how much
Hmm.
it cost. I mean, she was a New York performer, so she had money, obviously.
Yeah, she may have.
Mhm.
I mean, once you leave New York, then you get money.
That's true. She was like, "I'm gonna spend all of my money in a place in the middle of the desert." So
It would
and
go
plus,
very far.
rent was cheap, so 'cause it
Yeah.
was free, essentially.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm.
Wow. Yay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Good job.
Was
I love that.
Yeah, I feel like we had 2 very, like, different, unique stories today.
Yeah.
Mhm. little different from what we're used to doing. So
with a bunch of side quests in the middle.
oh, that's what you get when we wake up way too early in the morning. Which is fair.
Oh, I hope everybody enjoyed all of that because that was fun for us.
I know I did. I'm not gonna lie, that was fun. I feel like I don't have to edit this episode like at all. So minus the bathroom break.
And the Kira yelling.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Exactly. So
and now she's like dead asleep on the floor.
Yeah. But yeah. No, little puppy. Little girl.
Oh, itchy elbow.
Yep. Well, shall we sign off so that we can go record another episode right after this?
Okay.
Okay, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone. Until next time, don't forget to leave the ghost light on. Thank you for joining us. Leave the Ghost Light On was created, hosted, and edited by Danica Jackson and Jill Horn.
Musical composition created by Jay Nygaard.
Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, and more.